Hello, welcome to my channel, Let's Chat. This is a channel to talk to the everyday person about things that obviously they are interested in, things that they follow, things that they believe in, and for me to get their input on that. I've reactivated my channel after a few years of being inactive. I'm attempting to build up my subscription list. I would like to get to the minimum requirements from YouTube for generating revenue for my channel, which is 1,000 subscribers, and I actually think it's actually 4,000 watch hours. So if you see something that you like and you join, that would be fantastic. If you can watch as much as possible, that would be great also, as that also would be helping me activate the monetary aspect of YouTube. I'm going to leave the introduction there. I'm going to start talking about the aspect of the topic I'm going to talk about today, which is again in the same context of what I've been talking about lately, which is the existence of God. And I'm going to slip to the side a little bit, or a different perspective, and I'm actually going to be reviewing a video with a physicist, Michio Kaku. He's a well-known physicist from the United States. He's going to go over his thoughts about the idea of... I saw the video, and he actually doesn't mention God per se, but he talks about the concept about actually where things could be perceived maybe in that light. So I'm going to start the video, and if you want to actually interact with me during this live stream, personally do, just contact me and we'll have a chat.
Because Einstein's theory of gravity breaks down at the instant of the Big Bang, that's why he spent 30 years of his life chasing after a higher theory. And what does string theory say? Well, Einstein says the universe is a bubble. We live on the skin of the bubble, and the bubble's expanding. That's called the Big Bang theory.
Okay, so he's getting into the aspect of the concept of multi-universe, and this aspect of bubbles is what a universe is actually in, I guess, and the concept of actually how that came about, or how that moved along.
String theory says there are other bubbles out there. There's a bubble bath of universes, and universes are being formed all the time. Big bangs are happening even as we speak. So we have this bubble bath of universes.
Right. Okay, he's just continuing with that idea about concepts of bubbles with respect to presentation of the idea. And he's stating the aspect that there just happens to be potentially multiple bubbles. He did mention a little bit about string theory and about some of these ideas actually is an area of string theory itself. From what I understand, he actually is a proponent of string theory. It's actually a very hypothetical, theoretical based concept in physics, but it apparently has very, very, very strong mathematical models, and there's a lot of physicists now actually spending a dedicated amount of time on research in that particular area and obviously investigation. But again, it's hypothetical right now, so there's no concreteness behind it.
There was something before Genesis, chapter 1, verse 1. There was something before the Big Bang. And we're going to detect gravity waves from the instant of creation with gravity wave detectors in outer space one day. We should find evidence, we should find baby pictures of the instant of the Big Bang, and maybe we'll find evidence of an umbilical cord.
Okay, so this is where he's getting the aspects of maybe the concept that you would maybe, well, not think about in religion, but this aspect of our universe came from something else. Basically, a starting point, and this aspect of you have basically a universe that can actually propagate and generate another universe. And he's also stating the aspect of the possibility of having some sort of detector in the future that can actually provide information that can actually validate that claim, or let's say give more explanation to the origin of the universe, which, if you've seen my other videos, I point out the aspect that current point in time there actually is no understanding of actually where our universe came from. We knew how it started from the Big Bang and the expansion, but we don't have any information about what happened before that or what was there before that. And again, he was given an idea of potentially maybe how it could have occurred.
An umbilical cord connecting our baby universe to a parent universe.
So our universe is just one bubble in a lot of different, it's like a foam of bubbles.
That's right.
Okay? We're just one of those bubbles.
That's right. And for me, that's good because, you see, I was raised as a Buddhist, and in Buddhism, there's no such thing as God. There's only nirvana, timelessness. But my parents wanted me to be as American as possible because they were in a concentration camp during World War II. So they sent me to Presbyterian Sunday School, where I learned all about Genesis and all about the parables. So I've had these two conflicting ideas in my head for years, but now we can meld them together into a single theory. Our universe had a genesis. Our universe had a Big Bang. There was an explosion, but these explosions take place all the time. Universes keep budding off other universes. And what is the universe expanding into? Expanding into another bigger arena, the arena of 11-dimensional hyperspace. Therefore, our bubble is expanding in nirvana. And so here we have a beautiful melding of Buddhism with the Presbyterian religion.
Okay, that's the end of the video, and he didn't specifically talk about, let's say, a God concept. In fact, probably the idea being presented is more along the lines of Buddhism, and he said there's more of a concept of what he stated as nirvana, and how he perceives the aspect that you can maybe perceive that this nirvana that, in Buddhism that they talk about is the aspect of actually how the universe got to where it's at, how it started, I guess. And this aspect of saying, okay, well, you have these, expansions, these explosions, these big bangs. And he said, based on the concepts and string theory and that, this is something that happens all the time. And so technically we could say these aspects of starting is happening all the time. An aspect that we could say this is a creation point. This is an aspect of where you can say, hey, everything that we see, everything that we experience started from someplace. Now again, he didn't talk about, let's say, a God from the Christianity perspective, even though he did mention that he actually was involved in going to programs in Christian, a Christian organization, but he really didn't talk about the explicitness of actually how Christians perceive reality. But he was trying to point out the aspect that there could be something more there than what we see and what we understand, and that we will investigate and we will potentially maybe figure out in the future. So, I don't have too many questions for the religious people. The apologist, I don't know if you could actually take a look at maybe this idea and maybe if it lines up to anything maybe you'll be thinking of. Again, religious people, theist, apologist, have a look at this and see what you think. See if it, correlates to the aspect of maybe things that you feel could actually be the beginning of what you perceive as the universe, and actually how things may have started. So you said to say, yeah, they started from another universe, but maybe that universe, had these superhuman beings that were actually generating other universes because they were that powerful. They knew how the process of creating other universes could actually be done, and so they did that. So we could sit there and say, hey, they created this universe, these beings that we could perceive as being gods, to what we actually exist in at this point in time. Okay, this is not a very long video, and it's very short. It's a little bit of a side and somewhat of a more of a different look and different perspective on this concept of religion. But again, it's still out there, the aspect of, using religion as a proponent of actually how we got here, and giving an explanation from a physicist and a way that he is presenting the possibility is also interesting. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to thank you very much, and I will stop the stream. Thank you.